Father Pranam, dear Sri Bhagavan, we were told by our dasas to celebrate the day of July 19 as the day of phenomenon. Dear Sri Bhagavan, what exactly is the phenomenon and how it took place on July 19th in Satyaloka? Could Sri Bhagavan throw more light upon it? Thank you, Sri Bhagavan.
It cannot be fully explained to you. Of course, if you grow more, it could be shown to you, not explained. Because you can't really make you understand that, but we can show you what all happened. Now, see, basically with me, possibly around age 3, a little bit less, a little bit more, maybe 2.5, maybe 3.5, somewhere that period. Then there's some kind of consciousness is emerging in you. My only focus to start is, still I remember that the first thoughts were that how to relieve humanity from suffering. That's been the only thing on which I'm built up. At that age, how to help humanity be free of suffering, nothing more than that. It was focused on that. So therefore, I could not relate to other children because they had no idea of this kind of thing, And there's such a gap between me and the other children, other people around. Even elders, I could not communicate with them. They were not even aware of suffering. They will not talk about humanity suffering. So I had to be like that. How to end human suffering. So I seem to be getting connected with my own past, my past lives. So, and then, so many questions came from there, many answers came from my own past lives. And then slowly the question became, what should I do to get these people free of suffering? That became an obsession. Then it became clear to me that they must become muktas. That started at that age. How to make people, not my becoming a mukta, but how to make people into muktas. That was the thing. That pursuit began. And then after that, the golden ball appeared. What we saw. We have the real picture of the golden ball also. The real golden ball. That picture appeared. That became more communicative to me. I could talk. So that told me do this, do that, all kinds of things which I had to do. There's no question of my thinking whether I should do or not. No. Do. That's all. Of course, there was some confusion sometimes whether I am the golden ball talking to me or he taught me the golden ball. All that kind of thing was there. So this went on for some time. And then it gave me a mantra. Sounding like Sanskrit, but not Sanskrit. So it gave a mantra. It told me to go on chanting it. So how can I go on chanting it? So I soon realized it is happening all the time. The chanting is going on all the time. Whatever I'm doing, it's happening, the chanting. That went on for almost 21 years. And then it stopped. Now, whatever happened during those years, I had to relate it to the world, So that's why I went on with my studies and taking up my work, everything, to live in the normal world. I used to only be sitting. All that my parents wanted was get up and walk. So all the time sitting means go to school, come back and sit. In the school, sit. Classroom, sit, sit. Never once playing. Nothing like that. So what to do? The boys all the time sitting. They don't know what's going on. Chanting is going on inside, What could they do? Only sit only. So that went on. Then disappeared one fine morning. Then what could I do? It disappeared, that's all. But somewhere it knew it's going to come. And then in Satyaloka, I was feeling it's time now, work must start. Somehow I had that feeling, the enlightenment of man, So, how to make man enlightened? How to give him the state? The state which I am having, that should be passed on to him. Not the full state, but a much lesser state, enlightenment. So, then one day, it happened. What they now call Naranacha Vihar, that appeared. So, we sent a few boys, 3 boys we had sent there. And One boy happened to be a Hindu, another a Muslim, another a Christian. We put them in that room, wanted to make the brains very sharp for academics. So we are doing new things to make children brilliant, no? Like direct transfer of knowledge, that kind of thing we're attempting, and we were quite successful in that. So there are sometimes when we opened up, their faces were different. And the faces were different, and they were wondering, what is the same thing? Then we asked them, you people are looking different. They said, yes. What's happened? They said, our minds have become silent. What happened to you? Then they spoke about the golden ball and all that. It's a bigger story after that. Of course, this golden ball became Prajapati and entered Krishna. And then Krishna said, I can transfer it to others. That's how the Diksha began. The place we are still kept there. So, various kinds of Dikshas he was giving, and people are changing, shifting. That's how the phenomenon picked up. But all those 21 years was the preparation for that particular day, because that was told by the phenomenon only. And the strangest thing the phenomenon told was, we were asked some questions. It said, your master, because I was the teacher, no? He said, your master is my creator. So all those 21 years, actually the work going on to produce this thing. So that's the way I myself became that. So there's always a thing on this Paramjyothi, there is Amma Bhagavan, there's always like. Amma is another story. So now, then the Diksha became, once the Diksha started giving, then we picked up from there. So I'm cutting a lot of things out now. So, and why those 21 years? What happened before that? All that, the lineage and all those things. So all that went in completely. Otherwise, how can I talk about human suffering and then solve it and how to make an enlightenment? And the only thing I found out was it has to be transferred. There's no other way of making him become enlightened. Straight he must give it to him. Then how to give it to him? Then the Diksha appeared. So that is a long story, short. Maybe as you go along, we'll give you the experiences. You'll see what exactly happened.
Thank you, dear Sri Bhagavan.